Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. Big show today. NBA, NHL, college basketball, spring training, soccer, golf, left field rankings and right field rankings, reality TV, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with the NBA today. We'll go over the results from yesterday's big window and look ahead to a smaller window for tonight. Nuggets over the Wizards, 118-104. Heat over the Knicks, 127-120. Pacers over the Raptors, 118-114. Warriors over the Mavericks, 127-125. Sixers over the Bulls, 116-91. Grizzlies over the Rockets, 130-125. Bucks over the Spurs, 130-94. Timberwolves over the Hawks, 125-124. Blazers over the Jazz, 127-115. And the Lakers over the Suns, 122-111. Only 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock, NBA TV, Knicks Magic. Got my projections, Knicks 2 3/4, total 223 and 3/5. And we have Knicks by 3, total 228. Under. That's high. 7:30 Cavs Nets. My line is pick 'em in 222.5, and it's Cavs by 4, total 219.5. I'm taking Brooklyn getting 4. That's a lot. 8 o'clock, Hornets, Pelicans. My line is Pelicans by 6, total 227 and 17/20, and it's 8 and 225.5. So the pick is going to be the over. And 10:30 on NBA TV, Thunder, Clippers. Mine's the Thunder by 1, a quarter, total 229 and 9/20, and it's Clippers 4.5, total 232.5. Give me the Thunder plus 4.5 and plus 148 to win the game outright. No Paul George tonight. All right, now I'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over the small window from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's larger window. Penguins over the Avalanche 5-2. What a big win for the Pens, going out there being Colorado and Colorado. And then the Oilers over the Coyotes 4-3 in overtime. All right, big window tonight. 7 o'clock you have, 6:30 on ESPN. Wild Flyers, a rare 6:30 home start for the Philadelphia Flyers on national TV. Wild minus 160, Flyers plus 132, over under 5.5, over minus 124, unders plus 102. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 155, Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 188. That's a hard one. I'm going to go with the Wild in regulation at minus 105. 7 o'clock, Rangers, Hurricanes. Canes minus 146, Rangers plus 122, over under 5.5. Overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 200. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 164. Canes win during the playoffs, and there's a couple other ways that they can get into. I think this game goes to overtime, so go tie plus 340. Habs, Bruins. Bruins minus 430, Habs plus 330, over under 6.5, minus 10 each way. Canadians plus 1.5 is plus 136. Bruins minus 1.5 is minus 64. I'm going to take the Habs in the rivalry game to cover the puck line. Plus 1.5 is plus 136. Blues, Red Wings. Red Wings minus 132. Blues plus 110, over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 220. Red Wings minus 1.5 is plus 180. I think the Blues plus 110 to win that one. Leafs, Panthers. Panthers minus 126, Leafs plus 105, over under 6.5, overs minus 170, unders plus 138. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 15, Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 176. The Panthers losing in regulation is part of how Carolina can clinch tonight. This is a hard one. I'm going to go with the over. The over's too juiced. I like the Leafs to win, plus 105. Leafs outright. Lightning, Sens. Lightning minus 146, Sens plus 122, over under 6.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 158, Sens plus 1.5 is minus 92. For this one, I'm going to go with the Bolts in regulation at even money. Blackhawks, Capitals. Washington minus 255, Blackhawks plus 205, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 120, Caps minus 1.5 is even money. I'm I'm going to go over 6.5 at even money. 8 o'clock, Kraken Preds. Kraken minus 132, Preds plus 110, over under 6.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Kraken minus 1.5 is plus 180. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 220. I'm going with the over. 9 o'clock, ESPN. Pens Stars. Stars minus 260, Pens plus 132, over under 6.5. Overs minus 1.8, unders minus 112. Pens plus 1.5 is minus 78. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 146. I'm going with the over. Golden Knights Flames. Flames minus 134. Flames minus 134. Vegas plus 112. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 120. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 10. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 172. I'm going with Vegas straight up plus 112. 10 o'clock, Jets Ducks. Jets minus 240. Ducks plus 195. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 106. Unders minus 130. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 104. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 125. I'm going with the over. Last but not least, Sharks Canucks. Canucks minus 166. Sharks plus 138. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 140. Unders plus 114. Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 264. Canucks minus 1.5 is plus 136. I'm going with the Sharks to win outright at plus 138 at Vancouver. All right, last night was the CBA championship, or CBI. It was an interesting game, to say the least. Charlotte knocks off Eastern Kentucky 71-68 to win the 2023 CBI championship. So congrats to Charlotte. Best bet won. I took the over in this game, and it won by 6 points. So it was a good best bet win for me. This was an interesting tournament. And now I'll move on to the NIT. We'll go over results. Wait, did we even have NIT? Yesterday? Yes, we did. Okay, that's what I thought. UAB over Vandy 67-59 in the quarterfinal, and Utah Valley over Cincinnati 74-68 in the other quarterfinal. So, in the semifinals, we UAB, Utah Valley, North Texas, and Wisconsin. So it's a decent foursome in the NIT semifinals, which will be held next week in New Orleans. All right, now we'll move on to the Sweet 16. It all begins tonight, 6:50 on TBS from Madison Square Garden. 7 seed in your East region, Michigan State, and the 3 seed in the East region, Kansas State. My projection here is Kansas State by a quarter total in 40 4/5. And it's 1.5 in favor of Michigan State, total 137.5. So the question is, do I go at Kansas State or do I go with the over? I have a 3.3 differential on the over and a less than 2-point edge on Kansas State. So I'm going to go with the over. And I would actually throw Kansas State in at plus 105 in a underdog parlay. I don't think the 7th seed should be favored here. I'm sorry. And I respect Tom Izzo, but Kansas State's been a better team all season from top to bottom than Michigan State. Next up, 6:30, not 6:55. I don't know why I thought it was that late. 7:15 on CBS. West region from T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. 8 seed Arkansas, 4 seed UConn. Should be a great game. My projection's UConn by 3 total, 142 and 920. And it's UConn by 4.5 total, 140.5. So a 1.5 edge on Arkansas and almost a 2-point edge on the over. So I'm going to go with the over here, and I would take Arkansas plus the points as well. 9 o'clock on TBS from the Garden, Sweet 16, 9 seed FA, 4 seed Tennessee. My projection is Tennessee by 1.5 total, 136 and a 10th, and it's 4.5 and 129.5. I'll take another over, and I'll take Florida Atlantic plus the points. I actually think Florida Atlantic can win this game outright at plus 190. I think that's really good value there. And then 9:45 on CBS West Region from Vegas. 3-seed Gonzaga, 2-seed UCLA. The dream game. I expect Jim Nantz to be at this game since Duke and Kentucky and Purdue are not playing in the Sweet 16. Or else I would have expected Nantz to be at MSG. But I expect Nantz to be here in Vegas now. I project Gonzaga by a quarter, total 147 3/10. And it's UCLA 1.5, total 145.5. I'm taking Gonzaga plus the 1.5. And even money to win outright. I have a slight edge on the over too. It's a 1.8 edge on the over. And a 1 3/4 edge on Gonzaga. But I just don't want to take 4 overs as picks. But it's so close. And I feel pretty good about Gonzaga here because of the Jalen Clark. When is that absence going to come into factor? So I'm going to take Gonzaga plus 1.5 and minus 112 and even money to win the game outright. I actually do all 4 dogs tonight to potentially win outright. And just be a lot of fun if they all won. But I'm going to say at least 2 of them win, maybe 3 of the underdogs win. All right, now I'll move on to spring training. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today's spring training games. Nats over the Yanks 5-2, Rays over the Phils 6-2, Braves over the Tigers 5-3, Blue Jays over the Orioles 2-1, Astros over the Mets 5-2, Cardinals Marlins a 0-0 tie, Rangers over the White Sox 2-0, Cubs over the A's 4-2, Royals over the White Sox 4-3, Giants over the Rangers 4-0, Angels over the Rockies 10-9, Twins over the Red Sox 11-0, Reds over the Padres 4-1, and the Mariners over the Dodgers 5-1. All right, today's window, 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Yankees, Cardinals, Red Sox, Pirates, Mets, Braves, Blue Jays, Twins, Tigers, Phillies, 4 o'clock, Diamondbacks, Cubs, Giants, White Sox, Dodgers, D-backs, Padres, Brewers, Royals, Padres. So the Padres have a split squad, 6 o'clock, Tigers, Orioles, Nats, Astros, 9 o'clock, Guardians, Giants. So the Giants also have a split squad. A's, Rangers, and Mariners, Reds is your slate for today's spring training. All right, soccer. We'll go over some results of note and look at whatever soccer is going on today. We'll start with international friendlies. So yesterday, Nepal over Laos 2-0, India over Myanmar 1-0, Rep Ireland over Latvia 3-2, Honduras over El Salvador 1-0. New Zealand and China 0-0 draw. Solomon Islands over Vanuatu 2-0. Going on right now, Hong Kong and Singapore. I'm going to see if some of these friendlies we have up here. Yeah, we do. All right. So 10 o'clock we have Malaysia and Turkmenistan. Malaysia's minus 190. Turkmenistan's plus 480. Draws plus 280. I'm going to go with the draw plus 280. 1 o'clock, you have Iran and Russia. That game's not posted yet. 2:30, Hungary and Estonia. Hungary's minus 300. Estonia plus 750. Draw plus 350. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at minus 116. In 7:30, Argentina and Panama. Argentina is a minus 20,000 favorite. Panama's 50-1. And the draw is 31-1. I'm going to go under 3.5 goals at plus 194 as a good value play. And a couple overnight at 2 a.m. we have Tahiti and New Caledonia. That's not posted yet. 5 o'clock you have Australia and Ecuador. Australia's plus 165, Ecuador's plus 155. The draw's 2-1. I'm going to go with Australia plus 165 in a home game. 6:30 Japan and Uruguay. Japan plus 135, Uruguay plus 210. Draw is 2-1. I'm going to go with the draw at 2-1. 7 a.m. South Korea and Colombia. South Korea plus 180, Colombia plus 145. Draws 2-1. I'm going to go Colombia plus 145 with that one. And then club friendly today, 12 o'clock, you have Fenerbahce and Zenit. I'm trying to see if those ones are up. It's at 12 noon. I can't find it. But I could see this being a draw, whatever the odds are for that. All right, CONCACAF Nations League today at 8 o'clock tonight. You have Suriname and Mexico. Suriname 17-1. Mexico is minus 1,100. The draw is plus 750. Mexico is just so much better. I'm going over 3.5 goals at minus 106. And that is League A. And then CONCACAF Nations League B today, 5:30 at French Guyana and Dominican Republic. Guyana's minus 120, DR's plus 290, draws plus 270. I'll go with the draw plus 270. League B, Barbados and Cuba. Barbados is plus 550, Cuba's minus 230, draws plus 360. Cuba's just better. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 108. Also in Nations League B, Guadeloupe and Antigua Barbuda. Guadeloupe's minus 340. Antigua and Barbuda 8-1. Draw is plus 430. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals again at plus 112. And then League C, 3 o'clock today, St. Martin and St. Kitts and Nevis. Kitts and Nevis is minus 150. St. Martin is plus 360. The draw is 3-1. I'm going to go with the draw at 3-1. I think there's value there. And then in Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is minus 20,000. Virgin Islands is 50-1. The draw is 18-1. Puerto Rico is way better. And, I'm going to go with under 3.5 goals at plus 172 as like a value play. European Championship qualifying today. 11 o'clock, you have Kazakhstan and Slovenia. Slovenia's minus 115. Kazakhstan's plus 340. Draws plus 220. I'm going to go with Slovenia at minus 115. 345, Denmark and Finland. Denmark's minus 250. Finland's 7-1. The draw's plus 350. I'm going to go with the draw at plus 350. Italy, England. Italy plus 175. England plus 160. Draw plus 220. That's a good one. I'm going to go with England at plus 160. Slight road favorite. Portugal and Liechtenstein. Portugal's minus 20,000. Liechtenstein's 50-1. The draw is 45-1. They have anytime goal scorer, which is pretty cool. Here's a fun one. First goal scorer. Let's go with Cristiano Ronaldo plus 195. I'd never done that before. Next up, you have Malta and North Macedonia. North Macedonia is minus 290. Malta's 7-1. Draws plus 390. I'm going to go with the draw plus 390. North Macedonia isn't playing well. San Marino and North Ireland. San Marino's 40-1. Northern Ireland 17-1 favorite. Draws 10-1. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 110. Slovakia and Luxembourg. Slovakia is minus 75. Luxembourg is 5-1. The draw is plus 290. I'm going to go with the draw plus 290. And then Bosnia, Herz, and Iceland. Bosnia is minus 135. Iceland's 330. Draws 290. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 124. All right, I'm quickly going to go over women's UEFA results real quick. Chelsea over Lyon 1-0 first leg, and then the other first leg, Wolfsburg over PSG 1-0. I'm gonna quickly look at anything else that needs to be discussed. In soccer, a lot of cup stuff. There's one more league I wanted to quickly touch on. We don't have MLS till the weekend. It was the Finnish Cup. ASC, Entente, Sepka, and HIFK2. ASC's minus 1,600. HIFK2 is 24-1. The draw's to plus 950. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at minus 112. All right, now I'll move on to golf. There's a lot of soccer for today because a lot of the international stuff's going on. That's why we don't have like the Premier League and everything going on. That'll be back next week. We're going to go over the early leaderboard for the Punta Cana. Your leader right now with a score of 4 under is David Hearn. Tied for second with 3 under, Camilo Vegas, Max McGreevy, and Bryce Garnett. Tied for fifth with 2 under, Tyson Alexander, Michael Giljic, Adam Long, Jonathan Bird, and Nikolai Hojard. Tied for 10th with 1 under, we have Kevin Toy, Matt Trainer, Emiliano Grillo, Doug Ginn, Richie Rensky, Evan Van Royen, Brian Stewart, Wyndham Clark, Dylan Wu, Robert Garrigus, Thomas Longbella, and Justin Hicks. Tied for 22nd at even. Just going to go through notables at this point. Chad Ramey, Wesley Bryan, Cam Young, Andrew Novak, Estelanzo Goya. Tied for 34th with 1 over. Jason Duffner, Scott Piercy, Bo Van Pelt, Harrison Endicott, Russell Knox. Tied for 44th with 2 over, Scott Harrington, Kramer Hickok, Justin Lauer, Charlie Hoffman. Tied for 52nd with 3 over, Sangmu Bay, Wills McGirt. Tied for 57th with 4 over, DJ Tran. And that's the early leaderboard for Punta Cana. Then the WGC Dell Match Play leaderboard right now. So round 1. Right now, JJ Spawn over Matt Fitzpatrick, 5-3. Minwoo Lee over C. Thiglia, 1 up. Xander Schauffele wins 4-3 over Cam Davis. Aaron Weiss wins 1 up over Tom Hogue in Group 6. Group 14, Ben Griffin wins 3-1 over Tyrell Hatton. Lucas Herbert wins 1 up over Russell Henley. Group 3, Rory McIlroy wins 3-1 over Scott Stallings. Keegan Bradley and Denny McCarthy tied. Group 10, Tony Finau wins 2-1 over Christian Ziedenhout. Adrian Marouk wins 2-1 over Kurt Katayama. Group 7, Andrew Putnam wins 3-2 over Will Zalatoris, and Ryan Fox wins 2-1 over Harry English. Group 15, Cam Young wins 3-2 over Davis Thompson, and Corey Connors wins 6-5 over Sepp Straka. Group 2, Ricky Fowler wins 2-1 over John Rahm. Billy Horschel and Keith Mitchell tied. Group 12, Jordan Spieth wins 4-3 over Mackenzie Hughes, and Taylor Montgomery wins 2-1 over Shane Lowry. Group 5, Max Homa wins 3-2 over Justin Suh. Hideki Matsuyama wins 1 up over Kevin Kisner. Group 13, Sam Burns wins 3-2 over Adam Hadwin. Adam Scott wins 1 up over Seamus Power. Group 4, Patrick Cantlay wins 1 up over Nick Taylor. And Brian Harmon wins 3-1 over Kangku Lee. Group 9, Colin Morikawa wins 2-1 over Victor Perez. And Jason Day wins 4-2 over Adam Svensson. Group 8, Matt Kuchar wins 3-1 over Victor Hovland. And Siwoo Kim wins 4-3 over Chris Kirk. Group 16, Sungjae Im wins 8-6 over Matt McNeely. And JT Potson wins 3-2 over Tommy Fleetwood. Group 1, last but not least, Scotty Scheffler wins 1 up over Davis Riley. And Tom Kim wins 2-1 over Alex Noren. And then round 2, 10-20, Group 10, Tony Finau and Adrian Murdoch. 10-31, Kurt Katayama and Christian Ziedenhout. Group 7, 10-42, Harry English and Will Zalatoris, and Ryan Fox and Andrew Putnam at 10-53. Group 15, 11-04, Cam Young and Corey Connors. 11-15, Sepp Straka and Davis Thompson. Group 2, 11:26, John Rahm and Keith Mitchell. 11:37, Billy Horschel and Ricky Fowler. Group 12, 11:48, Jordan Spieth and Taylor Montgomery. 11:59, Shane Lowry and Mackenzie Hughes. Group 5, 12:10, Max Homa and Kevin Kisner. 12:29, Hideki Matsuyama and Justin Suh. Group 13, 12:32, Sam Burns and Adam Scott. 12:43, Seamus Power and Adam Hadwin. Group 4, 12:54, Patrick Haley and Kyung-Woo Lee. 1:05, Brian Harman and Nick Taylor. Group 9, 1:16, Colin Morikawa and Adam Svensson. 1:27, Jason Day and Victor Perez. Group 8, 1:38, Victor Hovland and Siwoo Kim. 1:49, Chris Kirk and Matt Kuchar. Group 16, 2 o'clock, Sungjae Im and JT Potson. 2:11, Tommy Fleetwood and Matt McNeely. Group 1, 2:22, Scotty Scheffler and Alex Noren. 2:33, Tom Kim and Davis Riley. Group 11, 2:44, Matt Fitzpatrick and Min-Woo Lee. And 2:55, Heath Thiglia and JJ Spawn. Group 6, 3:06, Xander Schauffele and Aaron Weiss. 3:17, Tom Hogan and Cam Davis. Group 14, 3:28, Tyrell Hatton and Lucas Herbert. And 3:39, Russell Henley and Ben Griffin. Group 3, 3:50, Rory McIlroy and Danny McCarthy. And 4:01, Keegan Bradley and Scott Stallings. All right, now move on to left field rankings. My rankings for the left fielders for the 2023 Major League Baseball season. 30, TJ Friedl, Reds. 29, Robbie Grossman, Rangers. 28, Aaron Hicks, Yankees. 27, Akil Baddoo, Tigers. 26, Jack Sawinski, Pirates. 25, Brian De La Cruz, Marlins. 24, Eddie Rosario, Braves. 23, Mark Canha, Mets. 22, Corey Dickerson, Nationals. 21, Seth Brown, A's. 20, David Peralta, Dodgers. 19, Jared Kelenic, Mariners. 18, Austin Hayes, Orioles. 17, Masataka Yoshida, Red Sox. 16, MJ Melendez, Royals. 15, Jordan Walker, Cardinals. 14, Joey Gallo, Twins. 13, Michael Conforto, Giants. 12, Ian Happ, Cubs. 11, Christian Yelich, Brewers. 10, Michael Brantley, Astros. 9, Taylor Ward, Angels. 8, Stephen Kwan, Guardians. 7, Dalton Varsho, Blue Jays. 6, Corbin Carroll, D-backs. 5, Andrew Benintendi, White Sox. 4, wait, something's not right with this list. So 4, Chris Bryant, Rockies. 3, Randy Arozarena, Rays. 2, Kyle Schwarber, Phillies. And number 1, Juan Soto of the San Diego Padres. I think I messed something up here. I think I accidentally put a center fielder in the left fielder rankings. No, okay. I thought Corbin Carroll was a center fielder, but I was wrong. He's marked as a left fielder. So Juan Soto deserves this. I know he was part of the big trade last year and kind of struggled early on and picked it up in the playoffs, but I think he's poised for a big season in San Diego. Kyle Schwarber really is just a machine from an offensive standpoint. So because of his offense alone, he's that high in the rankings. Arozarena, really good player on the Rays. Chris Bryant, I think, is going to play left field for the Rockies this year. I think he bounces back. Andrew Benintendi, free agent signing by the White Sox. Corbin Carroll's going to be really good. Maybe he cracks the top 3 by season's end of this list. Dalton Varsho, off-season trade from the D-backs to clear the way for Carroll. Stephen Kwan, career year last year. How does he follow it up? Taylor Ward on the Angels, okay player. And Michael Brantley kind of landed there by default in a way because left field is so weak outside Juan Soto, really, if you think about it. But if you're being kind, maybe the top 5. But Brantley, when he's healthy, he contributes for the Astros and for anyone who's really with. Christian Yelich fell off a cliff. Ian Happ might be on a different team in the second half of the season. Conforto, we'll see. Maybe he would have been higher if he played last year. Joey Gallo was just a train wreck last year at the Yankees and the Dodgers. And Jordan Walker, a lot of people seem to think will be in the Cardinals' opening day lineup this year. So there you have it for left field rankings. And now the right field rankings. So 30-1 as we do for each and every list. Number 30, Edward Olivares, Royals. 29, Tyrone Taylor, Brewers. 28, Oscar Colas, White Sox. 27, Chad Pinder, Reds. 26, Jake McCarthy, D-backs. 25, Manuel Margot, Rays. 24, Lane Thomas, Nationals. 23, Ramon Laureano, A's. 22, Austin Matthews, Tigers. 21, Avisail Garcia, Marlins. 20, Max Kepler, Twins. 19, Adolis Garcia, Rangers. 18, Lars Nootbaar, Cardinals. 17, Oscar Gonzalez, Guardians. I was looking at the next person on the list, who is Randall Grichuk of the Rockies. He's 16. 15, Andrew McCutchen of the Pirates. 14, Alex Verdugo, Red Sox. 13, Hunter Renfroe, Angels. 12, Mitch Haniger, Giants. 11, Sia Suzuki, Cubs. 10, Anthony Santander, Orioles. 9, Starling Marte, Mets. 8, Teoscar Hernandez, Mariners. 7, George Springer, Blue Jays. 6, Kyle Tucker, Astros. 5, Fernando Tatis Jr., Padres. 4, Ronald Acuna Jr., Braves. 3, Bryce Harper, Phillies. 2, Mookie Betts, Dodgers. And number 1, I mean, come on, was there any doubt? Aaron Judge, New York Yankees. There's no doubt that Aaron Judge is the best right fielder in the game. Offensive, defensively, smart base runner. He's just intimidating. He's the face of Major League Baseball. He's the best player in baseball. Yeah, I said it. I know Ohtani just carried Japan to gold. But what has Ohtani won in the Major League Baseball level? Nothing. I get it. He pitches. He hits. He does everything. But he's always hurt too. But we'll get to Ohtani tomorrow. And listen, I don't hate Ohtani. It's just that I contribute winning when it comes to Major League Baseball awards. It should be treated like the NBA and the NFL. And Aaron Judge deserved MVP last year over Ohtani because he had a historic year and he contributed to winning, more importantly, unlike Ohtani. Mookie Betts deserves the 2 spot over Bryce Harper. Mookie Betts is just an electric player. I thought about Bryce for 3rd, but Bryce is coming off an injury, so that's why I bumped him down to 3. Acuna, you could argue belongs in the top 3, but he's immature and still gets in trouble for things like not hustling every year, it feels like. Tatis, we'll see how he recovers. He's projected to have a big season. We'll see how the position change does for him. Kyle Tucker, really coming along well as a player. It's just unfortunate that Fernando Tatis moved positions, or else he would have been in the top 5. Springer's a really good player still. Teoscar Hernandez, I think the Blue Jays might regret that one. Starling Marte's a really solid player. So right field's pretty deep. Santander had a career year last year. And the reason why he's ahead of Sia Suzuki because of that, and plus Suzuki's going to start the season on the injured list. I love Mitch Haniger. He's one of the more underrated players in all of baseball. So I'd say right field is like 12 deep. At least Renfroe's just a journeyman at this point. Verdugo's had moments. McCutchen back in Pittsburgh's cute. Grichuk's going to have big numbers because he's playing in Coors. Oscar Gonzalez had moments in the playoffs this past year, so that's why I have him a little bit higher than some may expect. So yeah, right field, very, very deep position. And it's top heavy too. I want to say your top 6 is easily your top 6, although you could argue top 7 is easily the top 7. But you can put the top 4 in this list in any order. Well, really, 2, 3, and 4 should be in any order because Betts, Harper, and Acuna didn't hit 62 home runs this past season. And Aaron Judge did. And Aaron Judge won an MVP, and neither of those guys won an MVP last year in the National League. As the NL MVP, was Paul Goldschmidt this past year. But like I said, right field, pick your poison. I mean, last year, I think I had Bryce as my number one right fielder. Who did I have as my number one right fielder? I had Juan Soto. I had Aaron Judge at 4. My right field rankings from last year, top 6, were Soto, Acuna, Betts, Judge, Harper, Tucker. But Soto now plays left field. And Tatis plays right. So the top 6 remain the same. Except I swapped out one Padre for another Padre as Soto moved positions. So 5 of the top 6 is still the same. Except I put them all in a different order. So there you have it for the right field rankings. Now move on to the Masked Singer. Pretty entertaining show last night. So it was country night. Ferry went first. She talks about how she was a friend of Linda Ronstadt. There was a Christmas tree there, a Black Panther, and a basketball again, a police badge, a book with the blue ribbon, and then the California roll. And then she said that she knows the person whose song she was about to sing, and she sang Angel from Montgomery by Bonnie Raitt. Good performance, the celebrity clue. Bill Engvall came out. He held out a blackjack, like 21, in cards. And she says she knows something about winning. Axeltol, there was a waterfall, pom-poms. She talks about how she was cute. She was bullied as a kid. There was a raw steak, Red Bull. There was a ring on there. She says she's not the best singer and performed Can't Fight the Moonlight by Leon Rimes. Pretty good performance. And then celebrity clue, Robert Woods came out, the former Rams receiver. It was a helmet, $2.3 million. And she said, how many people watch her work on Mondays? I feel like that was an obvious hint. We'll get to it in a minute. Then came a call. There was a cacti, an old TV. There's a quesadilla, salsa, arrows, anxiety, rain, la la la, fills with glee. And this person performed Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. And the celebrity clue, Deanna Carter came out, the silver medal. Wasn't until he left his nest until he struck gold. All right, so McCaw. My guess for McCaw, Niall Horan of One Direction. Robin said Elijah Wood. Jenny said Zayn Malik of One Direction. And Nicole said Doug Robb. Axeltol got unmasked first. My guess for her was Trish Stratus of WWE. My first guess was Gabriella Union. Because I saw something red. Like a red horse. And then I saw pom-poms because she was in Bring It On, and then a ring that maybe was representing Wade. But I went with Trish because of the raw steak and then the Monday's clue. So I was like, it's a wrestler. Jenny went with Alexa Bliss. Robin went with Nikki Bella. Ken went with Brie Bella. Nicole went with Michaela Maroney. And it was Alexa Bliss, so Jenny was correct. Rare bad guess by Nicole. Rare bad guess by Nicole. Even Ken had a better guess than Nicole because he was in the right path. So first wrestler on The Masked Singer ever. Battle Royale, Ferry versus McCaw. The song was That Don't Impress Me Much by Shania Twain. Ferry went first, McCaw went second. And McCaw moves on. So Ferry. my first impression guess for Fairy was Angela Bassett. She was in Black Panther, but I settled on Vanessa Williams. Nicole said Tracy Ellis Ross. Jenny said Corinne Fox. Robin said Lori Harvey. Ken said Jennifer Aniston. And it was Holly Robinson Pete. So nobody was right here. So that hasn't happened in a couple of weeks, probably since the season premiere, where all the panelists were wrong. I think they whiffed on the Dick Van Dyke. Right. And Sarah Evans. So they were both, all of them were wrong for both unmaskings in the first week. So Holly Robinson Pete, really fun person to be on The Masked Singer. Obviously her dad's famous. And her dad was the original Gordon on Sesame Street. She brought that up last night. So I wonder if The Masked Singer was trying to get Fairy to go home last week because it was Sesame Street themed. But not everything is meant to be. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. We saw it work out with Joe Buck when Eric Stone Street was on The Masked Singer when they did Domino Masters last year. So sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. In this scenario, it did not. All right, now we'll get into Survivor from last night. It was an interesting episode, to say the least. I think it was a very, very interesting episode. It was called I'm Felicia. First they showed the Soka tribe coming back from tribal. And they just are talking a little bit. And then they show the Tika tribe going back to the bird cage and noticing these sticks there is very, very suspicious. And they were skeptical a little bit and were like, very, very confused. And then we had a reward challenge in this episode where it was like an obstacle course thing. And then you had to like sling beanie bags at targets. And if you hit the target, then the next player goes. And the winner of the reward challenge was Soka. They came in first. And then Ratu came in second and Tika lost. And then 3 players had to go on a journey. So Soka led the way with it. They selected Josh from their tribe. They selected Jamie from Ratu and Carson from Tika. And they all go on a journey. They take separate paths. They all earned idols. And they all saw a message that they would be leaving their tribe. And they had to pick out of the bucket to see which tribe they were going to next. So Carson goes from Tika to Ratu, Jamie goes from Ratu to Soka, and Josh goes from Soka to Tika. And that really is a game changer for sure. And everybody's so surprised to see that the tribes have changed. You never see that in Survivor. That's something very interesting. And then we had immunity challenge where you had to jump off a platform, grab a key, and go in the water. And then you had to walk across a balance beam. And then you had to dive back into the ocean, back onto another platform, and then the next person got to go. And then And then 2 people with the keys had to unlock puzzle pieces to build the puzzle. And the winner of this tribe was also Soka, or this challenge was also Soka. And Ratu came in second, and Antika came in last and had to go to tribal council. So, a lot of chit-chatting. They're talking about how the easy vote would be Josh because he's new to the tribe. But Josh told Carolyn that he was playing his idol. So he said he'll play his idol on himself. And we vote out Sarah. And she's out. And then they're talking about to Sarah to vote out Carolyn to throw her off. So they go to tribal. Josh plays his idol. So the votes for him did not count. As Jam Jam and Sarah both voted for Josh, they didn't count. Carolyn and Josh voted for Sarah. Sarah's gone. So there goes my winner pick. So they blindside Sarah. She's gone. And left in that tribe now is Josh, Jam Jam, and Carolyn. And now we'll see how the alliance between Jam Jam and Carolyn goes, because Jam Jam obviously voted Josh with Sarah, and Sarah sided with Josh, or Carolyn sided with Josh and voted for Sarah. So we'll see how that goes in the next episode. All right, best move of the episode was definitely Josh playing the idol, because it would have been 2-2. Then they would have had to go to like the tiebreaker. Maybe Carolyn flips her vote to Josh, and Josh gets sent home. So good move by Josh for playing his idol. That was the best move of the episode. Worst move of the episode, I'm going to say Sarah not playing her overrule an idol advantage. She thought she was safe. You never know on Survivor. Never know. So, I think that was the worst move of the episode. Best moment of the episode was definitely the shock on the tribe's faces when they saw the new tribe members coming onto their islands or to their places. So, that was my favorite part of the episode. And I really don't think there was a bad part of the episode. So winner pick. Now that Sarah's gone, I have to make a new one. I'm gonna say it's Danny from Soka. His tribe has no idea that he was the one that found the idol. And I think he makes the merge. And I think that he's going to do what it takes to not get too involved and to hide his idol. So I think that Danny is the winner for right now. And the next to go home, the Ratu tribe is due to go to tribal council. They haven't been there since the first episode. And because he's new, I wouldn't rule out Carson going home, but he has an idol, so he'll play it. So my guess to go home in next week's episode is Brandon, because I think they're trying to get the big guns out. And now Jamie has an idol and is not even in that tribe anymore. And Carson has an idol, he might play it. So I'm going to say Brandon goes home next week of the Ratu tribe, because Ratu's due to send somebody in the tribal. All right, news and notes. We'll do this pretty quickly. We'll start with football. The Raiders met with Bryce Young, as he also had dinner with the Panthers last night before today's Alabama Pro Day, so that is very interesting. Odell and the Jets want a deal done. His financials still need to be worked out, but both Jets and Odell would like to see this done. And they also signed Mecole Hardman 1 year, $6.5 million. So they're trying to build that team for Aaron Rodgers already. And then the Jets trade Elijah Moore in a 2023 third to the Browns for a 2023 second. I don't hate this trade for either side. I think that the Jets are just trying to remake their roster for Rodgers. And that second rounder they can throw into the Rodgers deal if they like. And it's a good second rounder because it's from the Browns. The Browns are eyeing Jerry Jeudy, as the sources say the door remains open for the Browns to try to trade for Jeudy. There's a new Commanders bidder that emerged. Steve Apsalopoulos, I can't pronounce that last name to save my life, is the third known potential bidder for the franchise. So that's interesting. Former Raiders tight end Foster Moreau has cancer as he'll step away from football after being diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma during physical at the Saints. So hopefully he gets well soon. And he had to retire too. And then Mecole Hardman called out Adam Schefter as he claps back on Twitter after Schefter said the Jets were signing him to run jet sweeps. That's funny. Baseball. Shohei Ohtani wrote out his life goals in high school. His goal at age 27, member of Japan WBC team and MVP. So, good job by Ohtani. Jose Altuve out 2 months following surgery to repaired fractured thumb. Brutal for Houston, but it's not a death blow for them. So, add them to the list of teams who had a bad spring training because of injury. A lot of basketball stuff. Karl Anthony Towns came back last night against the Hawks. Ja Morant came back, and he came off the bench against the Rockets. Paul George out 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained right knee. That is not great. Klay Thompson honors former NFL player Gavin Escobar, who passed away last year, as he arrived to last night's game in an 89 Cowboys jersey. And speaking of the Warriors, Mark Cuban went on a tail rage as he gave insight on what went down before the controversial Warriors bucket. And the Mavs plan to file formal protests to the league with focus on alleged referee mistake that led to 2 Warriors points and probably cost the Mavericks the game. College basketball, Armando Bacot returning to UNC and will use his final year of eligibility, so that's good news for the Tar Heels. Notre Dame hires Penn State's Mika Strawberry as the next head coach. That's an excellent hire for Notre Dame after Shrewsbury led Penn State to the round of 32 and nearly pulled off an upset to go to the Sweet 16. So, decent hire for Notre Dame. Now what's next for Penn State? I thought yesterday, it'd be funny if they hired Mike Bray, but it looks like Mike Bray is going to USF. So, I don't know if I would go to USF if I'm Bray. I would go to Penn State just because that'd be funny. Other Penn State possibilities. I could see Matt Langle being in play for Penn State, who's the coach at Colgate. What about I know Temple's open too, so we'll see who ends up there. Another person that could be in play for Penn State. Mike Morrill of UNC Asheville. How about Hofstra coach Speedy Claxton? Pat Kelsey, Charleston. Andy Kennedy, UAB. I think Andy Kennedy would be a good hire for Penn State. I really do. Grant McCaslin at North Texas, maybe. Bob Marlin of Louisiana. An interesting name, Jay Ladner of Southern Miss. Todd Kolizik of Toledo. Rob Senderoff of Kent State. Paul Mills at Oral Roberts. So there's a lot of guys that I think would be good fits at Penn State. And the other one I forgot to mention was Bob Ritchie at Furman. As well, so we'll see about that. So Rick Pitino tweets at Jake Cole as he wants the rapper and alums to pull up the practice and drop a few bars. That is so funny. Cameron Boozer, the son of Carlos Boozer, named Player of the Year. 21.1 points, 11.3 rebounds, and 4.2 assists, 2.0 blocks as a sophomore. He's from Christopher Columbus High School. As he won the Gatorade Player of the Year. As he was surprised with the award at his school in Miami the other day. Zion Williamson out another 2 weeks and is cleared to return to on-court activities and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. I don't think we're going to see him the rest of the season, but that's just me. You never know. And then Brian Boyle officially retired. Great career, 14 seasons, 8 teams, as he'll be joining NHL Network as a studio analyst, which is pretty cool for him. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. So this is a harder one. Because there's some that I like and others it's just like, whatever. But yesterday's was a winner with that over. So I just don't want to go with a tournament over. So for this one, oh, I know what I liked. I'm taking the Thunder plus 4.5 at the Clippers. No Paul George. I'm going to lay a half unit on it. I think the Thunder are going to win too. Thunder plus 4.5 at the Clippers for best bet. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything tomorrow as Well, hope you guys have a great day, everybody.